Hello, everyone. Today we are going to read a fable called The Lion and the Mouse. It is a pretty popular fable written by Aesop, who is the most famous fable author that we know of. And here's a beautiful illustration of the lion, and there's a little mouse down there. Before we start reading, let's look at some vocabulary. Now remember, fables are very old stories, and they were passed down from generation to generation through storytelling. And they started being written down finally around the year 550, which is still hundreds of years old. So these words may not be very familiar to you. The first word is timid. Timid means easily frightened or scared. The next word is pardon. Pardon means excuse me. Plight means trouble. If you are in a plight, it means you are in some sort of trouble. And nod means chewed. All right, let's read that story. The Lion and the Mouse. Now, as we read, we're going to stop and think and make sure we understand what's going on and try to figure out why the characters are acting the way they're acting. Once, when a lion was asleep, a timid little mouse began running up and down upon him. This soon woke the lion, who placed his huge paw upon the mouse and opened his big jaws to swallow him. All right, I've got to stop right there and try to figure out why was a little mouse who we know was timid, running all around and up and down a lion. I have to infer that he did not realize he was actually on a lion. He must have thought it was a little hill with grass on it or something, because that would be a very unsafe thing for a tiny little mouse to do. Let's look at what the mouse does. "Pardon, O king," cried the little mouse. "Forgive me this time. I shall never forget it. Who knows but what I may be able to do you a favor one of these days." Now, that's sweet that the little mouse says I might be able to help you one day, but he's talking to the king of the jungle. What does the lion say? The lion was so tickled at the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he lifted up his paw and let him go. So the lion just thought that was hilarious, and he must not have been too terribly hungry, because he just said, "Oh, you are silly and you're cracking me up, but I'm going to let you go, little mouse." Next paragraph. Sometime after, the lion was caught in a trap, and the hunters who desired to carry him alive to the king tied him to a tree while they went in search of a wagon to carry him on. Just then, the little mouse happened to pass by, and seeing the sad plight the lion was in, went up to him and soon gnawed away the ropes that bound the king of the beasts. "Was I not right?" said the little mouse. All right, it's a very short little story, but it has a good lesson to it. What do you think the moral to this story is? We know the mouse is very tiny, and we know the lion thought it was hilarious that the mouse, even for 1 second, thought he might be able to do a favor for the lion one day. But then we find out that because the mouse is really tiny and can gnaw through things, he gnawed through the rope and set the lion free. So, and then he told the king of the jungle, "Was I not right? I could help you, couldn't I?" Let's see what Aesop says the moral or the lesson of this story is. Little friends may prove to be great friends. Remember that. Your size is not what matters. You are helpful and useful and you are a good friend no matter what. All right, that is our lesson for today. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.